Good morning, everyone. I don't know why, but everyone was far more attentive to me as I walked down the center aisle today. Welcome all to Cushing Academy's beautiful 140th commencement. On this, the 23rd day of May 2015, welcome faculty, staff, alumni, parents, family, and friends. Welcome to the classes of 2016, 17, and 18. Welcome and thank you to our board president, Mr. Dick Harrington, our vice board president here up with me, Jeremy Duffy, class of 89, and all of our trustees and trustees emeriti for their outstanding leadership of the Academy. Most importantly, welcome and congratulations to this renowned group of penguins seated before us, the class of 2015. Thank you also to everyone joining us here in Ashburnham for this special moment to celebrate all the seniors have accomplished, all the ways in which they've grown. And thank you to the many who've played a role in making today as special as it is, from the preparation of this ceremony, this tent, the gorgeous Cushing grounds, the food, and the thousands of other moving pieces. A last thanks will come from all of you penguins before me, the seniors, to the family and friends who are here to commemorate this day. Seniors, please stand and thank your family and friends for having made this possible with a round of applause. So 150 years ago, Thomas Parkman Cushing wrote in his will, "I am particularly desirous of using a portion of the estate with which God has blessed me for the promotion of so important an object as that of improving the education and thus of its strengthening and enlarging the minds of the rising and of the future generations. It is the greatest honor to be charged with presenting you seniors your Cushing Academy diplomas this morning. You are the embodiment of Thomas Parkman Cushing's vision and legacy. That said, I know you're less excited to hear from me than you are to listen to your classmates and our very own renowned class of 95 alumnus and commencement speaker, John Cena. So without any further delay, let me begin my prepared remarks. I'd like to start by returning to the beginning of this year, in this same space for what was the convocation of this school year. During convocation, you might recall that Dr. Norm Carey offered an original poem entitled Convergence to commemorate the moment. Miss Peggy Lee offered some of Cushing's history, and your student body president, Kat Lemieux, offered her reflections on Cushing, friendship, and making the most of the new school year. Well, that school year is nearly over, with only exams remaining for underclassmen and only minutes remaining for you seniors. You might recall also from my remarks that I began by asking you to think about and commit to your purpose for being here. I asked you, why are you here? What is your purpose? Ceremonies and rituals are important, and this one especially so, because it provides us with a moment of and for reflection, for pausing and truly feeling the significance of the moment, of the process, your work, and your achievement. I asked Maggie from the stage here, how does it feel? She said, I don't know. I just don't know. I've heard that from a lot of kids. But sit for a moment, pause, focus in on what it feels like, what you're thinking. While today is an important marker in your coming of age, this hasn't been, nor will it be, your only coming of age moment. Instead, ask anyone around you, every one of us is coming of age continuously. This is lifelong learning. Each of you had your own purposes and were coming of age last September when we began our annual journey. Each of you seniors, I know, have come of age and grown in countless ways during your time at Cushing. We should never be finished products. As our Dean of Student Life, Mr. Chris Howes, always says, You are always in the process of becoming yourself. We are always in the process of becoming ourselves, and the Academy has always been and will always be fertile ground for that process, for lifelong learners determined to change for the better. We as a faculty, the amazing faculty that you have here before you today, we are so, actually, let's get a round of applause for our amazing faculty, please. I couldn't be more proud to be part of this faculty. We as a faculty, the amazing faculty, with a unique and dynamic blend of challenge and support, we as a faculty and staff had devoted the whole of ourselves to the whole of your education. And we couldn't be more proud to send you off into the world as curious, creative, and confident learners and leaders. Unlike schools with educational philosophies of survival of the fittest or deficit-based teaching, Cushing and its faculty identify and leverage the diversity of each individual's strengths to the benefit of his and her own personal growth, as well as the overall flourishing of the entire learning community. In our time together, we have woven our individual experiences into a collective story, the 2015 chapter in our shared Cushing narrative. Against the backdrop of our proud and profound, I think, 150-year history, this day is about you, each senior in front of me. To celebrate you, all that you've become, all the ways in which you've persevered and grown through challenge, the ways in which you have become authentically and powerfully curious, creative, and confident, I want to share some stories about you seniors that I've gathered from my colleagues and drawn from my own experience. And while I wish I could recount many more stories, again, you don't want me up here all day, but I trust that each of you will hear a bit of yourself, bits and pieces of yourself in others' experience. Each of our experiences are simultaneously unique and shared here at Cushing. So my first story is from a math teacher who wrote the following. This girl is in the top 3 hardest working students I have ever had. She's not the most confident student in mathematics. However, she manages to achieve and impress in every course I've had her. She deserves credit for putting up with me for 3 years. She's had her challenges and setbacks, and as a result, she's been an exceptional role model, especially for girls. She is currently one of 3 girls in multivariable calculus, and because she is a model next year, we expect that 8 out of the 9 students at this level will be girls. Another teacher wrote, these 2 boys, a colleague and I, formed a bluegrass band this year called Pleasant Street String Band. Got to make sure I get the name right for marketing purposes. The very act of forming the group demonstrates these boys' curiosity, and their confidence was on full display during our public performances. Artistic and soulful, this student has come into his own while at Cushing. Quick wit, natural affinity for creative pieces, and boundless intellectual curiosity. He takes his work seriously and continues strives for higher achievement levels. His positive attitude is contagious, creates a friendly, comfortable learning environment for others. In addition to all he accomplished on campus, beyond this campus, he pursued his passion for marine biology by working in Woods Hole, completed a field study with local preschoolers examining how children learn rules of a language, and researched the relation of culture and language of the Itza people. This student athlete went into the final meet of the season knowing that he was going to be a non-factor as far as scoring positions were concerned. But that did not curb his enthusiasm for competing. Before his first race of the day, he was dry heaving. After both his races, he collapsed on the infield. This student cares deeply about running and pushing himself beyond his comfort zone. The dry heaving and the anxiety have always been there, but when he began at Cushing, he couldn't push through them. Another teacher wrote, I recently saw this student reciting poems at a poetry reading, and I was once again struck by her poise. Always a smile on her face, making it hard for me not to smile too. In this, our 10th year of amazing tradition of Tony Fisher Day, a day of service for the whole school, our seniors and PGs sorted 13,699 pounds of food at the Greater Boston Food Bank, making 8,386 meals for people in need. Another faculty member wrote, at the beginning of the year, this student of mine did not like being at this school. However, he persevered. And one day in the middle of the second term, he and I had a serious talk about his attitude toward learning. his responsibilities as a student, and his great potential to be a leader. We shook hands on the deal. Then from the very next day till the last day, he became my assistant professor. He'd go to the board to display solutions and give clear explanations of his process. Other students followed his lead, all because of this boy's newly found confidence. This student has come to be considered a professional in the Cushing Theater. Did you notice her name listed as stage manager, lighting designer, and lighting board operator for the spring dance concert? She's endlessly reliable and passionate, takes every challenge given to her. She's found a true love in the theater at Cushing that has ignited a lifelong passion. One of my own stories, I was meeting an alum outside of Boston in November 12th, remember the date. Upon leaving that meeting, I headed straight for Brooks School, where our fantastic field hockey team was playing Brooks in a quarterfinal New England playoff game. Before the game, I watched Cushing students and faculty roll off the fan bus, fill the sideline, cheering exuberantly. At halftime, the score was 0-0, a great game that I hated to leave. But I had to drive as quickly as possible, and for those of you who know me, I drive the speed limit exactly. I drove to Lawrence Academy, where our boys' soccer team was facing off against rival Lawrence in its quarterfinal game. There was a huge crowd of cheering, Cushing and Lawrence fans. Our fans and our school spirit were exceptional, and opponents know this. The shimmering opening chords of Debussy's Clair de Lune, which she played so beautifully at our recent recital, evoke the moonlight glittering on water. In addition to her piano, she has participated actively in the dance program, starting with no experience in this discipline. And in economics, she often stayed after class to ask questions and push me on statements I'd made during class. This boy loves to solve problems, and this past summer completed a course at Carleton College's Quantitative Reasoning Institute. His AP physics teacher says, I often find him solving physics problems he has found online, just for fun. When the student asked teachers to cap him, he did so by spelling out cap with physics equations for one teacher, and he wrote a computer science code for the other that translated into cap when run. There was a time when this student was quiet and shy, and boy, oh boy, those days are long gone. She became outgoing and found her interest in the arts. She is an excellent metalsmith, spending countless hours in studios developing a series of tiny sterling silver books made into tremendous jewelry pieces. Incredibly driven and confident enough to take risks and face challenges head on, this student has long expressed an interest in finance and economics. He seeks out teachers' advice and ideas beyond the classroom and works out problems on his own and asks for faculty to validate his answers. Already trilingual, this student is described by teachers as independent, self-aware, thoughtful, and conscientious. This next boy presents a low-key appearance, but at heart, he's intensely committed to excellence. He is curious and risk-taking in class. He is the first to baseball practice and the last to leave. This student has shown an interest in alumni and development work and seized any and every opportunity to help with Cushing's alumni team. This student exhibits pure joy on stage with authentic curiosity that makes everyone better around her. This student gave back to Cushing in serving as the JV ice hockey goalie during his junior year, even when he had no prior experience in net. These two students seemed to me to be a touch awkward and unhappy when they first arrived. I wondered if they'd make it through Cushing, but both are now happy in their own skin and confident. I'm most impressed by this student's perseverance and dogged recovery. He sustained an accident from which doctors weren't sure he was going to recover fully. Now to watch him down in the music studios this past year, pounding away at the piano, working diligently in the jazz band, and persistently healing has been utterly inspiring. He's humble, supportive, without ego, and at this point in his life, he could have resigned himself easily to taking it easy, but he propelled himself from a significant injury into a year of creative expression. So many of you seniors have given so many hours, giving tours during your free time to prospective families, telling the Cushing story, sharing your details. You seniors led a tremendous production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, leaving a tremendous legacy for the up-and-coming performing artists. Another faculty member wrote, I first met this boy on Mountain Day. He was in my history class, and neither of us was climbing to the top that day, so we chatted at the picnic tables, footballs and frisbees flying around. It was great getting to know him, particularly since in class he rarely said anything. His essays were things of beauty, however. Seeing the clarity of his thinking, I tried to get him to participate in class, telling him that other students would benefit from his perspective. To no avail. He'd participate when I asked him a direct question, but that was it. We talked plenty outside of class, but in class the same pattern continued. Intense but silent engagement coupled with great essays. When he showed up senior year in another one of my classes, something surprising was happening inside of him. And it was more than just the subject matter. He's passionate about issues of social justice. He was finding himself, and along with it, his public voice. He dove headlong into the discussions at the heart of every class. No one expressed himself or herself with more passion or humility. It was truly transformational, and as his teacher, I just sat back and smiled. Great light deserves to shine. One student told me about feeling that she's always been in the shadow of others and how at Cushing she has become her own person. Another talked about how grateful he is to have been given the chance to live with such a diverse group of boys. About her role on the discipline committee, one student wrote, "Going into my first DC meeting as a proctor, I had one goal in mind, to help, to be an advocate and a bridge between students and faculty using my own personal experiences. I know what it looks like to ask for help. I serve on the DC with empathy." This young man's peers in AP Physics sought his advice, reassurance, perspective because of his great work. An electromagnetic motor project, however, proved challenging for him. He loved to build and construct. He was a lab rat and enthusiastically took on this project, thinking he'd finish it in no time. He went right to work, followed directions meticulously, and when it was time to see if his motor worked, nothing. Needless to say, he was disappointed. The humming sound from his classmates' completed and functional motors drove him nuts. Yelling, ranting, raving, and stomping, and I think I took out 4 other verbs. He wore his emotions on his sleeve, but he persevered and went back to the drawing board. He pulled things apart, put them back together, resanded wires to ensure connections. Once again, however, nothing. Several more attempts, similarly failed results. Finally, his motor came to life. His reaction was priceless. Arms raised, running around the room, once again, yelling, ranting, raving. This time with success. Think of the many late nights you spent talking, right? We heard it out on the patio of the library, talking with a roommate, talking with friends out in the purple Adirondack chairs. To pay back the years of love and support all of you got, all you students, from a woman who refuses to stop smiling. You seniors dedicated this year's yearbook to our very own amazing Jimmy Gay Buono. Lastly, about you, your senior grade deans, Mr. Harmon and Mrs. Clark, said, "This is an eclectic group of scholars, musicians, artists, athletes, and human beings. They are easygoing, easy to work and interact with. They are inclusive, kind-hearted, and caring. At times, they may come across as not being close, but when together as a class, they interact and intermingle seamlessly. As our first senior class to work with as grade deans, we could not have asked for a better group. They are just good to each other." How great are these stories? And I have so many more I could recount. Note the theme of embracing and growing through challenge. Seated before us today are 129 unique individuals who have woven their stories into a powerfully diverse and communal Cushing one. And they've not only written the narrative of the class of 2015, but also contributed their part to the larger 150-year history of the school, of which we're all proud, the reason we're all here today. And if the stories I've shared with you are in the least way predictive of their futures, right, we will have much to celebrate at future reunions. Very little that is worth much in life is simple or easy. And Cushing, its amazing faculty and staff, have undoubtedly prepared you seniors for the challenge and complexity that you'll meet with confidence. The challenge and complexity that you will fully engage and turn into your success, others' success. I want to close with words similar to those I shared with last year's seniors. I believe in them. First, fully engage, right? And you know moments when you didn't fully engage. Fully engage, come to know and benefit from the many diverse perspectives around you. Second, with the knowledge and experience you possess now and will undoubtedly deepen throughout your life, take action. Act in the service of others and in service of something greater than yourself. Your teachers, mentors, family, and friends know that your individual power will enhance the good, the greater good of communities small and large. Your truest measure of success will be the positive impact you have on others. Historian David McCullough in 2012 at a commencement address said, quote, "The great and curious truth of the human experience is that selflessness is the best thing you can do for yourself." Actor Bradley Whitford, who I quoted last year as well, in his 2004 commencement address at University of Wisconsin, said, "Take action. Every story you've ever connected with, every leader you've ever admired, every puny little thing that you've ever accomplished is the result of taking action. You have choice. You can either be a passive victim of circumstance or you can be the active hero of your own life." So again, seniors, if you take one thing from what I've said today, take action, take action, take action on behalf of others, on behalf of something bigger than yourself. Make the world a better place. One final note for the class of 2015, as we discussed yesterday over breakfast, stay connected to this school. You have, during your time with us here, contributed so much to our story, and you have so much more to offer in your futures, and we want you to remain connected. A tremendous legacy of Cushing students have come before you. The Watkins Fieldhouse arising out of our campus grounds as we speak is an example of this. And a great number of future graduates will experience an even better Cushing because of your contributed connection back to this, your school. With 3 faculty colleagues retiring this year, Mr. Paul Dowling, Mr. Peter Clark, and Dr. Norm Carey, and because this brings us full circle for the year, I'd like to close my opening remarks by reading the final 8 lines of the poem entitled Convergence that Dr. Carey wrote for and read at this past September's convocation. Dr. Carey's great Cushing poem concludes with this: "They come here, as so many have come, to find their own path, a road that can take them into their lives and through their lives. That way has led them, as it has so many, to this place and time, to this multifarious array of countries, colors, and faiths, all bound together by the same dreams, the same need, to find their place in the world, to find out who they are, to discover that all paths converge in the end, and that they share that road with many who came before." Before we proceed, I'd like to create one more memory of connection for you at Cushing. I'd like you to take a moment, everyone, whether you're sitting or standing or not paying attention to me outside the tent, and with an unforgettable smile on your face, look around at the people next to you, behind you, in front of you, and get a smile going, please. Now, if you would, I told Mr. Dowling, whatever he tells me to do, I typically do the opposite. But I'm going to follow his lead. And I'd like you all to stand, shake hands, hug, to enhance the connection for a moment. Great, thank you, everyone. Vince, I'm calling you Vince, not Vince. Great, thank you. Exactly what I had hoped for. I lulled you all to sleep, and now I have to turn the podium over to other people. No, before I do, I would like now to ask Paul Dowling and Norm Carey to join me on stage. Known as Silver Penguins, our longest-serving faculty members are at the heart of this community. This year, two of these much-loved teachers and treasured colleagues are retiring. Paul Dowling after 36 years of service at Cushing, and Dr. Norm Carey after 34. Both have been recipients of the Reitman Long time. Both have been recipients of the Reitman Teacher of the Year Award, one of the many measures of the esteem in which they are held. It is possible here today to only briefly touch on your tremendous contributions, and we look forward to additional opportunities in the next weeks to honor and celebrate you. You will each leave an indelible mark on our community. You and your families made Cushing your home, making the students and faculty your extended family. Paul, since arriving at Cushing in 1979, you have forever changed the lives of countless students whom you have inspired as a teacher of mathematics, motivated and shaped as a coach of football, wrestling and track, counseled as a dorm parent, and helped guide as dean of students. You also generously served your colleagues as dean of faculty. And Jeremy and John back here, as we stood, were talking about how they both wake up. Jeremy said in particular on Tuesdays in a panic for that practice with Paul running it. Norm, after arriving to teach English in 1978, you embarked on a journey that would include roles as English department chair, Director of Academic Affairs, dorm parent, and coach. After serving as head of the Native American Preparatory School in New Mexico, you returned to again show your Cushing students, as you so eloquently wrote in your own poem, the beauty of words, the beauty of their own minds, and the terrible, precious wisdom that awaits for them in Melville's sea, Whitman's grass, and Gatsby's smile. Paul and Norm, Cushing is better because of you. We salute you and offer our deep gratitude. Having earned the respect and admiration of all, your dedication and devotion to the Cushing community make it only fitting that you be forever recognized as honorary members of the class of 2015. So now it is a great pleasure to welcome John Cena back to Cushing. And to honor him as the 2015 recipient of the Cushing Academy Leadership Award. We are delighted, too, that his guest Nikki Bella can be with us, along with many classmates who are here to support him, close friends from Cushing. A warm welcome to you all. Established in 2010, our Leadership Award honors exemplary leadership through personal and professional accomplishments and contributions to society. John has achieved distinction in each of these realms. John grew up in West Newbury, Massachusetts, and enrolled in Cushing his junior year, where, according to his teachers, he immediately established himself as a top-notch student athlete, making his mark both in and outside the classroom. And off script here, I realized John told me that when he first came to Cushing, he applied, he didn't get in, and Coach Wayne Sanborn said, get your grades better, get that right, keep doing really well in athletics, devote yourself to it, and come back to us next year. And he made good on that. He excelled on the varsity football team and in weightlifting, track, and acting. He is remembered fondly for his outgoing personality, intelligence, and sense of humor, for his encouragement to classmates and teammates, and for his outstanding commentary at every single home basketball game. 20 years ago when John sat on this 20 years ago when John sat 20 years ago when John sat on this comment at his own graduation. By vote of the faculty, he received the Webster Moulton Award, earning him the accolade known also as the Ideal Cushing Boy. John, I hope it's not too much for me to share that your 95 classmates also honored you with 3 senior superlatives: loudest, best body, and I will say this one rings true today, because under that academic gown, Mr. Cena's wearing a custom-made purple suit. And the last accolade, the superlative, was most school spirit. At Springfield College, John earned a degree in exercise physiology and excelled as a Division III All-American offensive lineman. He then headed to Los Angeles to make his way, and while working the counter at Gold's Gym in Venice, California, he was encouraged by a wrestler in training to enroll in a class. A year later, John was signed by WWE to a developmental contract, and with singular drive and hard work, the rest is history. He said this morning that at his age, he's never been stronger, more fit. He's clearly an amazing entertainer, and he said it's because he's stubborn. He pushes through. The most admired competitor in the WWE, his success in professional wrestling is unprecedented. His never-give-up spirit of determination has earned him 15 world titles and millions of fans worldwide. He's also earned success as an actor in films, as a rapper whose album debuted at number 15 on the Billboard charts. Mr. Hindle, who grew up in the same hometown as John, actually approached him to say hello and share that detail, and I asked Mr. Hindle if he was going to invite him up to sing with the chorus today. But these professional accomplishments were perhaps foreshadowed in the written evaluation by his Cushing drama teacher, Whit Wales, when he wrote, quote, "It was a great pleasure to work with a bright and perceptive young man who gets such a thrill out of performing." Not content to be defined solely by his achievements, John's true champion spirit shines forth in his compassion and commitment to others. The first celebrity to grant 400 wishes through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, he is currently the organization's record holder with over 450 wishes granted to children with life-threatening illnesses. John, Cushing, and all your fellow Penguins are enormously proud of you. We are thrilled and honored to have you back at the Academy here with us on this special day. I know the class of 2015 is particularly honored. Thank you for all your leadership and example to us all.
Thank you, Headmaster Torino, for the kind words, not the introduction, because that was a bunch of crap. Just the fact that he could make Coach Dowling smile. I think the only other time Coach Dowling ever smiled was when he was kicking my butt on Tuesday practice down at that field. I don't have one of these. I'm just going to put this over here by the mints. My name is John Cena, and as you just heard, I'm a 15-time WWE champion and class of 95 graduate, which basically means what I do for work is I get inside a 20-foot ring, and opposite me is a man in spandex, wearing baby oil, usually angry at me, unbeknownst for me to the reason, but we end up fighting. And that's my job. Man, that just hit me. Anyway, a very unlikely candidate 20 years later to be speaking here in front of the class of 2015. So I truly thank the faculty, the administration, and wholeheartedly thank the graduating class of 2015 for allowing me to be here today. Now, after those lengthy words by the headmaster, I realize that I'm pretty much the only thing separating you from graduation. Which means we're going to settle this one way. I challenge each and every one of you to a steel cage match. And the only way to get your diploma is to go through me. Sorry, sometimes I get confused and think I'm still at work. I kid. I am going to be brief, though, and I'm just going to try to put some perspective on what's happening absolutely right now in front of us. I'm sure for the past year, especially being seniors with college applications, SATs, ACTs, all that junk, you guys keep hearing about the future, and even today you'll hear about the future. And the future shows a lot of promise, but I think we should focus on the now, on what you guys have done to be here today. And I've sat in those seats, and I know what it's like to be here. And it's a wonderful gauntlet. Just to be here, you guys sacrificed and left behind your family, your friends, and your social circles and started over again from scratch. And at your age, I know that even the smallest ripple in a social circle can cause an emotional tidal wave. And to do that, just to take that one step to walk through the door to be here, sets you head and shoulders above the rest. Across the country right now, there are very similar ceremonies going on where families are gathering and sending congratulations to senior classes. You guys are so far ahead of all of them. It's truly just amazing. I can sit out here and even hear stories from this morning's speeches and just see the outgoing personalities in all the student body. You guys are just in the middle of a wonderful experience, and I don't want you to ever take that for granted. 20 years ago, I sat where you're at, and actually some of the faculty who were there then are still here today. I don't want them to take any offense to any of this. And I really tried to think about this hard last night. I cannot remember a single thing that I learned in text while I was here at Cushing Academy. Not one thing. But I hope they have a great feeling of pride and accomplishment to understand that the life lessons that I learned at Cushing Academy, I carry with me every single day like you'd carry a cell phone, and I use them every single day like you use Instagram. Integrity, creativity, respect, discipline, hell, even logistics. You guys don't know what it's like to elect one person during study hall to go down to the sub shop on the corner, give them money for 40 orders, have them come back, have each of them be all right, and actually get some change. Like, that's just snap to logistics. And even this morning, you know what? In Vincent's speech, I told you, fine speech, and I shook your hand. You can tell your whole classmates that, hey, when I got here, I messed up. And you can be accountable for your actions. This morning, I sat in the dean's office in one of those comfortable chairs, kicked myself back going, yep, this is a much better situation than I was sitting here 20 years ago getting yelled at. But once again, those were decisions that I made to challenge authority, and I encourage you to do the same, but be accountable for your actions. And judging by your speech, it's obvious that you all are. I shook hands with a young man named Carlos this morning. Carlos, where's he at? Stand up. Carlos, do you remember our conversation? I shook hands, I asked you how you're doing. What'd you say? That's great. And that's exactly what you said. I see Carlos, I turn around and I say, hey man, how you doing? He goes, we made it. Carlos, I applaud you for that. Because that's the one point that I want to make today. You made it. You absolutely made it. You hung in there, you started from scratch, you made new social circles, you found yourselves, you made new developments, your failures, your successes, your triumphs, your friendships, your experiences. You guys made it. Don't throw away today. I know a lot of you, I remember when I was sitting there, I just wanted to get my diploma and get on with my future. The future will be there. Your friends are here today. Your families are here today. Some of the friends are here today that you won't see for a while. Celebrate, enjoy, rejoice, party responsibly. But damn it, celebrate. Because as Carlos so eloquently stated, we made it. And by some upside-down circumstances, I was lucky enough to get the 2015 Leadership Award. But if there was some trophy for that award, I would leave it right here, because the leaders for 2015 are sitting in these chairs in front of me. So, in closing, it is with the utmost sincerity that I truly say to each and every one of you, I am so very proud of all of you. And today, you not only receive a diploma, but trust me, from a man who sat there 20 years ago, you receive the best possible foundation for the future of your life that you could possibly receive. Enjoy today, because it only happens once, and this has been one hell of a ride. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2015.
How you just feel. Everyone take a deep breath. So many seniors were among the award recipients honored at yesterday's ceremony, and their names are printed in your program. I, along with Mr. Jeremy Duffy, the Vice President of the Board of Trustees, will now present the senior awards that are reserved each year for presentation at the graduation ceremony. Before we begin, I'd like to announce a few points of order. For seniors, first, if your name is called, please come up to the platform on the stairs to your left and exit via the stairs on your right. Families, when your graduate is called to receive an award or diploma, a photograph will be taken by a professional photographer who will be in contact with you in a few weeks, so know that that'll be there. Finally, because we're streaming live, if you leave your seat to take photographs, which you're most welcome to do, of course, we ask that you quickly return so that sight lines aren't obstructed. Now for the 2015 graduation awards. Some of today's awards are, as yesterday, in the form of Kiva cards. Kiva is a nonprofit organization that connects lenders to borrowers around the world who are seeking business loans to lift them out of poverty. Our students will have the opportunity to choose the loan project they wish to fund. Then, as they are repaid, they can repeat the process over and over. In awarding Kiva cards, we continue to encourage students to make a difference, to be the change they want to see in the world. First up, the Deborah Evans Class of 1974 Award is given in memory of a young woman whose dedication to life was limitless, whose spirit brightened every facet of our school, whose warmth and concern touched everyone, and whose presence and vitality have become a cherished part of our academy. She gave Cushing the best of herself. This year, the recipient of this award is Kayla Sargent. The Holden Class of 1888 prizes are given in honor of William and Eliza Holden, both of whom truly exemplified the characteristics of loyalty and friendliness. We have two deserving recipients of this honorable prize, Kylie Cowett and Cameron Muchler. The Pliny A. Boyd Class of 1894 prizes are given to the girl and boy who have demonstrated the best spirit of general helpfulness and have had the best citizenship record during the current school year. The very worthy recipients this year are Amanda Wood and Jack Carroll. The Senator Marcus A. Coolidge Award was established to honor Senator Coolidge's leadership as mayor of Fitchburg, a United States senator, and as a trustee and board president of Cushing Academy for 28 years. This award is presented annually to the president of the Academy's student government to highlight the importance of leadership in politics and government, as exemplified by the senator's career. This year, the recipient is Catherine Lemieux. Oh, Catherine, too. Hey, Kat, don't go far. The Eaton class of 1900 and Dunn class of 1899 prizes. The Eaton and Dunn families are synonymous with service to this academy, as exemplified by Alice Eaton Dunn and Frederick J. Dunn, both of the class of 1899, as well as Lillian Eaton, class of 1900. Mr. Dunn was a longtime trustee and board president, and Miss Eaton taught at Cushing for 30 years. This award goes to that girl and that boy who have rendered the finest service to the Academy during the current academic year. The recipients this year are Catherine Lemieux and Vincent Grimaldi. I'd like to ask Mr. Jeremy Duffy, Vice President of the Board of Trustees, to join me to present the Pliny A. Boyd 1894 and the Webster Moulton 1944 awards, known respectively as the Ideal Cushing Girl and the Ideal Cushing Boy awards.
The Pliny A. Boyd 1894 award is given to that girl who demonstrates the highest character and ideals, and through them has exerted the greatest influence. The recipient of this award is also known as the Ideal Cushing Girl. She has earned the greatest level of respect from her fellow students and faculty alike. By vote of the faculty, the Pliny A. Boyd 1894 award recipient for 2015 is Hugh Tick Heidi Chu. Heidi, please come up. Great. John, as the 1995 recipient of the Webster Moulton Award, would you help me present this year's award?
Let's do it.
Good partner here. The Webster Moulton 1944 Award is given in memory of a boy who greatly loved his school. Through sickened with illness while a student at Cushing, he set an example of courage and cheerfulness. A capable student and athlete, he found joy in helping others and in participating in activities of our school. This award, commonly known as the Ideal Cushing Boy, goes to that boy who most nearly emulates the standards of character, scholarship, and general promise set forth by Webster Moulton. By vote of the faculty, the Webster Moulton 1944 award recipient for 2015 is John Cassidy. Jack, please join us. socks. I didn't see the kilt.
The Alumni Salutatorian Award. The Salutatorian has the honor of having attained the second highest cumulative average in the graduating class. The class of 2015 Salutatorian is Jaijong May, Frank May. The Josephine Vinot Cook 1933 Valedictorian Award. The honor of leading one's class academically is a rare distinction. It's an honor to be forever worn. The honor of leading the class of 2015 this year has been earned by Min Huang Nyok Vien, Tony. You know better than I do. At this time, I invite the valedictorian of your class to give his valedictory address.
Hi, everyone. Today is one of the best and worst days of my life. Yes, that may sound stupendously cheesy and cliche, but as Purokista Kakpour, an author and professor, once said, the worst thing about cliches, as eye-roll inducing as they are, is that the fact that they are often plainly true. Fortunately and unfortunately, this statement is true for me. Today is the best day of my life because it is the celebration and recognition of not only our 4 years of high school, but it is also the recognition and celebration of all the hard work, dedication, sweat, and tears of the past 18 years of all our lives. I am deeply honored and humbled to be speaking to you all today on the 150th anniversary of our school's founding, and I'm proud to call this place, with its deep history, my home. But it is also the worst day of my life, for today's the day I leave the safety and comfort of home and everyone I've come to love these past 3 years. For some, change is a blessing that acts like a breath of fresh air. But to others, me included, change is terrifying. To leave behind everything and everyone you know is to ultimately purge yourself and purge your identity. And while starting anew can be exhilarating for some, it is petrifying for others. But then I realized my view of change was limiting. I was only considering changes purely in the physical world around us. External changes we have little control over. Change, however, does not only come from without, but also within. We don't often think about it, but we are constantly changing, even when staying in the same exact place with the same exact people. The frightened, shy sophomore who got social anxiety just from going to the dining hall alone is almost completely different from the person standing before you today. Almost. Honestly, I don't even need to go back that far. Just thinking back to about a month ago, I was a different person. Not drastically different, but different. And I'm sure most of you can say the same. Yet little around us has changed. We're still at the same school, surrounded by the same people. We're also preoccupied with the changes that happen around us, the changes that leave us feeling helpless and lost, that sometimes we lose sight of the fact that the biggest changes occur within ourselves. Our beliefs, values, priorities, and personal dogmas shape who we are, regardless of where we are. I'd like to quote a fictional hero of mine. We all change when you think about it. We're all different people all through our lives. And that's okay. That's good. You gotta keep moving so long as you remember all the people that you used to be. Yes, we are all graduating, and this time next year, we will all be different people in different parts of the world. But that doesn't mean we should forget who we are right now and the place that made us who we are today, our home, Cushing. After today, we may no longer be students of Cushing Academy, but that does not make us outsiders. That does not mean we should leave Cushing in our rearview mirror, never to look back again. We will be alums and therefore the next generation of stewards of Cushing Academy. For this school would not have a 150th year anniversary without the strong foundation of alums who gave back to the community that gave to them. We as a class are all changing from students to alums, and it is time for us to change how we think of Cushing. It will no longer be our home, or for some, our prison. It will be a part of our past, a part of who we are, and it's up to us to make it the best place it can be, not just for generations of Penguins to come, but also for ourselves, so that we can be proud to say that we are Penguins. For someone who despises change as much as I do, yet understand its significance and inevitability, I find this quote resonates with me well. If you cannot embrace change, at least give it a hug once in a while. I'd like to think that this speech is my hug to change. I'd like to thank all my teachers here at Cushing. You all have pushed me to where I am today, and for that, I am eternally grateful. Thank you to Dr. Sponholtz, not just for being my advisor, but also for being like a father to me these past 3 years. Thank you to all my friends here at Cushing. I love you all like family. You guys are what makes this place home. I'd also like to thank Cushing for providing the encouraging and supportive environment that allowed me to grow and become who I am today. And last, but definitely not least, I'd like to thank my parents who unfortunately could not make it here today. Luckily, technology has allowed them to view this live, so I'd like to say thank you for sacrificing so much to give me this amazing opportunity here. I love you guys. Cảm ơn ba mẹ. Ba mẹ đã hy sinh rất nhiều để cho con cơ hội tuyệt vời này, và con hy vọng con đã làm ba mẹ tự hào. Con rất yêu ba mẹ. Congratulations, everyone, and I swear I didn't plan this, but we made it.
Thank you, Tony. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. Dr. Carlisle?
Ready? Okay. Vincent Joseph Grimaldi, Senior Class President and Class Marshal. Thomas C. Akukwe. Francisco Alonso Martinez. Sergio Arancibia Alvarez. Alexandra Yvonne Acelta. Elijah Jacob Oranger. Madeline Sarah Battle Catlin. Sarah Hannah Berkowitz. John Fraser Bordelais. Marjorie Kathleen Boyd. Kenzie Nicole Brown. Orion M. Brown. Samuel Charles Buck. Charles Austin Burke. Quentin Miles Bullen. Sydney Amanda Bono. Benjamin C. Calcote. Nicholas Michael Cambio. Kylie Renee Cowett. Jack Tyler Carroll. John Aubrey Cassidy. Jinjen Jesse Chen. Hyunjun Choi. Samantha Juliana Choi. Hutik Heidi Chu. Sean J. Clark. Emily Lynn Clayton. Bailey James Conger. Joelle Cloud Decord. Olivia Rose Michael De Delori. Olivia Diaz Yado. Alexander Williamson Delente. Julie Eve Donnenfeld. Zachary I. Doucette. John Kelly Dyke. Stephanie Alexia Elliott. Daniel Joseph Eruzione. Zhao Fan. Sean Feng. Mark Edward Ferguson. Maria Elena Fraga. Fang Sheng Fu. Samantha Marie Fuller. Aldo John Giannatasio. Diane Lisa Golcher. Patricia Gomez Ackerlund. Matthias Guerra Isaacson. Zhanyan Guo. Sangho George Han. Aaron Lewis Harris. Douglas Robert Hartshorn. Wow. Maxwell McKinley Heggie. Alyssa K. Hess. Elizabeth Hudson. Hanoka Anami. Joanna Nadira James. Paranya Bo Jerian von Gryab. Tanner Francis Gilson. Trevor Gary Kaz. Oliver Dean Kaplowitz. Fiona Helene Kuza. Michaela Jeanette Lang. Chikit Barry Lau. Madison Nancy Leand. Catherine Mary Lemieux. Eddie Lee. John C. Lamato. Mitchell Evan Lorden. Malcolm Monroe McDonald. Norman Joseph McDonald IV. Michael Patrick Mahan. Michaela Mackenzie Malboeuf. Rachel Mann. Samantha Marie Maney. Adam Errol Mataway. Zhao Hong Mei, Salutatorian for the class of 2015. Caleb Ferguson Mesh. Brendan Ray Miller. Caroline Drew Miller. Charles Allen Moore. Cameron Michael Muchler. Shiri Namyel. Hang Phai Nye. Junichiro Nishikawa. Robert Charles O'Brien. Russell William Olive. Sungwon Brian Park. Diana Adair Parsley. Vishayud James Piamkumwenad. Andrea J. Portilla Romero. I don't know what to do. I think it's just getting my shoes. Alexander Daniel Reisman. Sam Reynolds. Jared Monsigne Rose. Matthew Michael Sabarin. Kayla Marie Sargent. Taylor Elizabeth Sebring. Ryan Thomas Senecal. Inder Kamal Sharma. Luke Kennedy Sheldon. Charles Augustus Simons. Jake Daniel Simmons. I'm okay. Chloe Ann Smith. Jaeyun Sun. Tyler Joseph Sonsini. Zachary David Sowerby. Luis Santiago Sprick Lara. Andrew Paul Sternkler. Karen Sun. Sho Tanaka. Rinka Tanamoto. Kim Sing Oscar Soy. Emma E. Tufts. Matthew Robert Varga. Min Huang Tony Nyop Vien, valedictorian for the class of 2015. Carlos, we made it, Villegas. Erica Loudon von Gravenitz. Debbie Wen. Kyle Merrick Williamson. Arden Johanna Wise. Eunice Elaine Wong. Amanda Jordan Wood. Iris Wu. Yutin Jin. Shanghao Charlie Yu. Jingchen Kathy Yu. Richard H. Young. Patsy Kelly Zhang. Jair Savannah Zhang. I present to you the Cushing Academy class of 2015.
So after we sing the alma mater, the faculty will lead our graduates in the recessional and proceed to senior walkway, where they will congratulate the senior class in our traditional handshake. After the senior handshake, I invite guests to enjoy lunch in our dining hall. Thank you so much for attending this year's graduation ceremony. And now please stay standing and join me in singing our alma mater.